God, so much stuff this week has happened. We might need 2 teas to get through this all, you know? Or maybe 1,000 teas. Honestly, guys, thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed over the last couple of days. It has been so cool. You guys are heroes. It genuinely means so much to me. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep commenting. I love reading your comments. Thank you so much. Right, but it has been a really full week this week. It was my first complete week in Cologne. With Marie, I went to this thing called 15 Minuten Theater, or something similar to that anyway. Basically, anybody could sign up for 15-minute slot and then had like a month. Was ein Monat? 2 months. Everybody then had 2 months to pull together whatever they wanted to do in those 15 minutes. And because literally anybody could sign up, I thought, okay, it's going to be a bit amateurish, but it was actually really, really good. There were some very talented people. It was really fun to go and see it. Also last weekend, I discovered that Muggy works for this company called Housekey in Köln, and they organize like secret concerts and gigs and things like that. So he took me along to one way northeast, somewhere I'd never been before in Cologne.
Geiler Outfit, Alter.
Ja, danke schön, gell? Bisschen kalt. Ich glaube, du bist sogar der allerletzte.
Ja?
Ja, alle anderen sind schon
scheiße, okay.
It was a really good band. The venue was super cool. It was in this like hidden secret room thing above a climbing center. It was a really nice evening, and like I had absolutely no idea what to expect. Muggy knew who was going to be on and everything, but he didn't tell me because it was a secret gig, right? Anyway, all that to say that I feel like I'm getting a much better feel for what Cologne is all about now, and I'm definitely getting really close to extending my stay, you know, just staying here longer. Well, some of that kind of depends on what happens with my job. So yeah, the job search geht weiter. I had that trial shift that I spoke about in the last video. I had that shift now, that went well. But when I do get a job, the first place I will post about it is on Twitter. So if you aren't following me, then check me out on Twitter. I occasionally post middlingly interesting things. What else has been going on this week? Tandem. I had my first Tandem meeting with Enrico the Italian. He's a really, really nice guy and lived in France for like 2 years. So the exchange we were doing was he was giving me his French and I spoke to him a lot in German. It was actually really nice to speak French again, despite having quite a lot of angst, quite a lot of fear about doing it, because I just hadn't spoken French for like 2 months or something at this point. But it actually came back to me almost like automatically. I was just sitting there with my little camera I was filming like a little intro bit that I thought maybe I could use at some point in a vlog.
I've been trying to sort of swap my internal monologue to French, and all I can say is that I'm very concerned about this encounter being incredibly mediocre.
And then Enrico sees me and comes over and just immediately says hi in French. And so I had to go straight from like English vlogging mode into like speaking in French. And I think because I was so taken by surprise by it, it just turned on and it was much smoother than I expected it to be, basically.
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Bon, maintenant, on va se balader jusqu'à côté. On va essayer de manger quelque chose.
Okay. Quelques bagels, oui.
Quelques bagels, ou ce que tu veux.
But it is really crazy switching between languages as much as I did that day, because I'd spent the morning speaking German, then I'd spoken a bit of English when I was vlogging, and then French, and then German again to help him with his German. And it really is crazy with your head just swapping between those things. I don't know how like translators do it or whatever, you know, but it was a lot of fun, and I definitely like Tandem. I really like the sort of Tandem experience. I'm definitely going to try and hang out with Enrico again. It worked really well for me. Right, in administrative news now, I did my Anmeldung the other day, which should have been super boring bit of paperwork, but I tried to make it as interesting as possible.
So today I'm doing my Anmeldung, which is a very sort of administrative, official thing that you have to do in Germany. You have to go and give the government your address, and then that means that you can officially work. Fundamentally, incredibly administrative and boring. We're going to see how cinematic we can make it.
Anyway, I'd been told beforehand that this whole Anmeldung thing would be, you know, a horrible bureaucratic process, that there'd be so much paperwork and that people would be horrible to me. And to be fair, it kind of started off a bit like that. We had a bit of problem with my paperwork and the lady had zero sense of humor, but she warmed up. We kind of, you know, we got talking and we ended up chatting about all these things that Germans think are super British, but actually in reality aren't. And all these things that we British people think are super German, but actually aren't. This brings me quite neatly onto the tea video, by the way, which went online the other day. And if you haven't seen it, then there should be a link. Oh, I'm going to get the left, one of those directions. But basically in this video, I complain about the difference between tea culture in Germany and in the UK. Anyway, I really enjoyed doing it. I had a lot of fun making that video. It was really nice with Marie getting involved and doing all those little sketches. So if you want more of that sort of thing, then let me know. Leave me a comment and tell me if that's the sort of stuff I should be doing, because it was a bit of a different thing for my channel, you know? I think the hardest thing about that actually was being a director in German, which was very hard. I just have such a limited vocabulary when it comes to giving people commands, you know? So I spent the whole time being like, can you look me, go left, move, just being like a really weird, robotic, very commanding director. And I could sense it as I was saying it, because I would like say something that I knew wasn't particularly clear, and then in the sort of the dealing scene, Muggy and Marie would both look at me and I'd be like, oh god, this is such a nightmare. But we got it done, and one thing it taught me is that these two guys just have infinite patience with my sketchy German, and I really appreciate that. It's so nice of them to like go along with this whole let's go and film a sketch where you're drug dealers but you're dealing tea anyway. But then, you know, to help me out when I'm doing it in German is really nice of them. All right, final thing. Next week I'm going skiing, which I'm really looking forward to. My friend Matt, who you've seen in previous videos, he is like king organizer of our friendship group back in London. And he's put this whole thing together for like 20 of us to go skiing for a week. It's going to be a blast. So anyway, expect a bit of a break in my posts next week, because although I'm going to take all my camera gear with me and try and get some cool shots to show you guys, I don't expect I'll be doing any editing or uploading actually from the chalet. If, however, you just can't get enough of my content, hashtag content, if, however, you just can't get enough of my hashtag content, and let's be honest, I know that I'm only speaking to about 4 of you now, but if you are those 4 people, then if you're not already, then check me out on Instagram, check me out on Twitter. I will be much more active on those platforms than this one over the next 7 days. Anyway guys, for now, thank you so much for watching, and another huge shout out to those 1,014 people who are now subscribed to this channel. You guys. If, however, you are not one of those 1,014, then click here to subscribe and you'll get all my stuff straight into your YouTube newsfeed. But until the next one, happy Friday tea time, have a great weekend, and I will see you soon.